Picture this. You are sitting behind the wheel of your chip truck, staring at the taillights of the car in front of you, stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. The clock on the dashboard says it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You just finished a brutal removal, your shoulders are burning, your jeans are covered in damp sawdust, and you still have an hour-long drive to get to your next estimate. As you sit there idling, watching the fuel gauge tick down, a heavy feeling starts to settle in your chest. You start doing the math in your head. You think to yourself, I am not cutting right now, I am not moving brush, I am not making a single dollar. This drive is costing me money. Then fast forward to 9 o'clock tonight. The rest of the world is watching television or sleeping, but you are sitting at your kitchen table with a cold cup of coffee, staring at a laptop screen. You are trying to type up 3 different invoices, reply to 5 emails from nervous homeowners, and figure out why the numbers on your bank statement do not match the sweat you poured out today. You feel exhausted, you feel frustrated, and worst of all, you feel like you are working for free. Welcome to the time trap, my friend. This is the exact moment where most working arborists hit a ceiling they cannot break through. Today, we are digging deep into the true cost of your time. We are going to completely uproot the old hourly employee mindset that tells you money is only made when the chainsaw is running, and we are going to replace it with an asset mindset. We are going to look at how to value your windshield time and your administrative hours so that your business actually feeds you instead of bleeding you dry. When you are a climber working for someone else, your mindset is simple. You swap hours for dollars. If you work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. If you sit in the truck during a downpour, you are usually still on the clock. But when you step out on your own and start your own tree care company, that math completely changes, yet our brains tend to stick to the old way of thinking. We start looking at a job and thinking, well, that will take me about 4 hours, and I want to make $100 an hour, so I will charge $400. That is a fatal mistake. It is like looking at a massive, leaning willow tree and only looking at the trunk while completely ignoring the rotting root system underground. If you only charge for the time your saw is in the wood, you are going to go broke faster than a cheap rope snaps under a heavy log. To break out of this trap, we need to make 3 major shifts in how you view and price your time. The first shift is understanding that windshield time is not dead time. It is operational friction that must be paid for by the client. Think about it like this. When you are rigging down a massive limb over a glass greenhouse, you do not just count the 30 seconds it takes to make the cut. You count the 20 minutes it took to set up the blocks, wrap the friction device, tie the knots, and double-check your safety lines. The preparation and the setup are part of the cut. Your travel time is the exact same thing. Driving your truck, your chipper, and your crew across town is the operational setup required to do the work. If it takes you 45 minutes to drive to a job site, 45 minutes to drive back, and 3 hours to do the actual cutting, that is not a 3-hour job. That is a 4.5-hour job. Every mile you drive burns diesel, wears down your tires, increases your liability on the road, and consumes your mental energy. If you do not factor that travel time into your daily rate or your project pricing, you are essentially paying the homeowner for the privilege of driving to their house to do their tree work. You must treat windshield time as an essential business expense that is built directly into every single estimate you hand out. The second shift is realizing that your administrative hours are the root system of your company. Let us look at a tree. The canopy is beautiful, it gets all the attention, and it produces the leaves. But the canopy cannot exist without the roots. The roots are down in the dark, working hard, absorbing water, and anchoring the entire structure into the earth. If the roots fail, the tree falls. In your business, the field work is the canopy. It is loud, it is visible, and it feels like the real action. Your administrative work, your bookkeeping, your invoicing, your scheduling, your customer phone calls, that is the root system. It happens in the dark, usually late at night or early in the morning, and it is completely invisible to the customer. But if you neglect that root system, your business will dry up and blow over in the first strong wind. Too many guys treat admin work like an annoying afterthought. They think, I will just do my quotes on Sunday morning, or I will send invoices when I get a spare minute. Because they do not set a specific value on those hours. They treat them as free labor. But your time is never free. If you are spending 10 hours a week chasing down payments, writing estimates, and organizing your schedule, those 10 hours need to be accounted for. You need to assign a dollar value to your office time. If you value your labor at $50 an hour, then those 10 hours of admin work cost your business $500 a week. If you are not factoring that $500 into the prices you charge for your tree removals and prunings, then you are taking a $500 pay cut every single week just to keep your doors open. The third and most important shift is moving from an hourly wage mindset to an asset and return on investment mindset. An employee looks at time and asks, how much do I get paid per hour? A business owner looks at time and asks, what is the return on the investment of this hour? Think about your equipment. When you buy a high-quality commercial-grade wood chipper, you do not look at it and say, I hope this chipper makes $50 an hour. No, you look at it as an asset. You know that the chipper allows you to process brush 5 times faster than doing it by hand. It saves you labor, it saves you time, and it allows you to get off the job site quicker so you can move to the next one. The chipper gives you a massive return on your investment. Your time as the business owner is the ultimate asset. When you spend an hour climbing, you get a 1-to-1 return. You worked an hour, you produced an hour worth of work. But when you spend an hour building a better pricing spreadsheet, or an hour setting up an automated system that texts your clients when you are on your way, or an hour building a relationship with a local commercial property manager, that single hour can pay you dividends for the next 3 years. That is a high return on investment. When you start thinking like an asset manager, you stop feeling guilty about not holding a chainsaw every minute of the day. You realize that your business is an engine, and your job is to tune the engine, grease the bearings, and steer the truck, not just act as one of the pistons. You start pricing your jobs based on the total value you provide and the total costs involved, rather than a simple guess of how many hours it will take your body to do the work. Transitioning to this mindset takes serious mental discipline. It is incredibly tempting to just keep your head down, drag brush, and ignore the numbers because the numbers can be intimidating. But running a tree business without tracking the true cost of your time is like climbing an old dead cottonwood without a flip line. You are exposed, you are unprotected, and you are inviting disaster. Let us wrap things up with the core lesson for today. Just because your chainsaw is turned off does not mean your business stops costing you money. So stop pricing your work like an employee and start factoring every mile and every evening hour into your bottom line. Here is your homework assignment for today while you are driving between jobs or heading back to the shop. Look at your dashboard clock when you start driving and look at it when you arrive. Keep a simple, honest mental log of exactly how many hours you spend driving and doing office work today compared to how many hours you actually spend cutting. When you see those numbers clearly, it will completely change how you look at your next estimate. Take care of your business, value your time, stay safe on the roads today, and I will talk to you tomorrow.